Hey, yo, it's me, it's the R-A-V. What's up, everyone? It's Raven Effect back for another episode of the HeelCast. We are doing it on TalkShoe again because one of us doesn't have Wi-Fi. Raven Effect dumbass went ahead and broke his headset today, so I got to order a new one. But, hey, the HeelCast is back this week. We apologize last week for getting the show out so late. Shit happens in life. With me, again this week, our new HeelCast member who's been Mr. Reliable for us, Wrestling Robert. Rob, what's up, my man?
Hey, hi, everybody. Thanks, everybody who is listening to this podcast. And today we're going to be talking about GFW Impact, July 20, 2017. Hey, I am more than happy to be part of the HeelCast once again. Go ahead.
Hey, no doubt. Rob is HeelCast anytime he wants to be, so ladies and gentlemen, get used to our boy Wrestling Robert as he is with us for the long haul as well. And also check out his own show, Robert Does Wrestling, which we will bring up, of course, in a minute. But also another a mainstay of ours who hasn't been with us in a while, but, I always mess up and can't say my E's from my R's. So it's a Hurls cast today. The Hurls cast is here. The undisputed king of Fat Style is back with us. Hurls, what's up, buddy?
Oh, man, it's been a long time again. I went up north, had a nice vacation, got to check out some of the cream of the crop talent up there. It was a good time to be off, but I'm here. I'm ready to talk some GFW Impact. A lot of stuff to cover.
That's the first time we've had on the show where Hurls has actually been able to actually call it GFW Impact. Fun fact there. Hurls, I know you said it's a good time to be off, but look, it's Hurls. We know it's also a good time for you to get off. Doing your thing up north. Fat Style Man is back. So I'm just going to let everyone know. So the show, RIV has been very busy this week. I have not actually watched Impact more than like the first match. I'm going to be here for the plugs, the news, the first match of the show, and then I'm going to bail out, and Hurls is going to take over, and him and Wrestling Robert are going to kick it with the rest of the Impact for you. I haven't even been able to watch my boy Chris Weidman finally get that W back. And you know what? It's surreal to me because John Jones in DC, too, is fucking happening this week. And if John Jones beats Daniel Cormier, you might never hear from Raven Effect again, to be honest. But, all right, guys, let's go to the plugs here. I've been telling everyone about my man, Big Ray, at Big Ray's show. Dude, check out Big Ray. I don't know how many more times I can say it. Hopefully some of you are tuning in. Look, he is a senior producer and reporter at OneWrestling.com and the only recognized protege of Bill Apter. You can hit him on Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat. It's at Big Ray's Show. And it's One Wrestling Video on YouTube. That's the number one wrestling video, all one word. Go to WrestleZone.com on the WrestleZone Daily with Nick Hausman. I still don't know if I'm saying that right. My bad. And also, the hashtag Impact Attack podcast with Ben the Hacker Hammond. Just search Hacker Hammond anywhere you listen to your favorite audio content every Saturday. Check it out. Also, to check it out, we have ImpactAsylum.net. I think it's safe to say ImpactAsylum.net is now the undisputed number one Impact Wrestling or GFW Impact Wrestling site that there is. Yeah. Also, there you can always find Straight Shooting with FK9. FK9, our boy, he will be with us at some point soon, too. Always doing his thing. Great show. Also, our other boys, Steph and Kyle over at Impact Heads. What up, Steph and Kyle? I love what they're doing over there. They've got some interviews out with some indie wrestlers. They're doing big things. They're reaching out. And I know Steph's got a big announcement, so check that out, y'all. Of course, that other guy, Wrestling Robert Does Wrestling. Rob, you want to tell everyone where to get your show at?
Yeah, you can find it on YouTube.com. Just go ahead and search Robert Does Wrestling. I just did EC3 guitar cover. I'm working on the Jeff Jarrett guitar cover, top 10 Rey Mysterio matches, and a lot of stuff. And also the Impact review every week. So that are the couple of projects that I have and I am working on during this time of the year.
Absolutely. And of course, I'm sure everyone knows about Andre Corbeil. Check out Andre Corbeil's show. And then our boy Impact, or One of a Kind, or LB One of a Kind. Sorry, man. The Impact One of a Kind Society, One of a Kind Elite Society podcast. I'm sorry if I butchered that. I don't have my notes like normal to say everything by name. And, of course, our boy BQ, King of the Mountain, the only King of the Mountain now left. Of course, I got BQ every week. So there's a plug. Look, we're not the only GFW podcast out there. There's a few of us out there. And, look, if you don't want to listen to just us or, any of them, definitely listen to all of them. Guys, before we talk about one thing, we're going to go on a sad note here. So Chester Bennington was the lead singer in Linkin Park. So his side band, Dead by Sunrise, I actually have their CD, Out of Ashes. Yes, CD, I said it. So Chester, over the weekend, committed suicide. I heard something like they were investigated as a murder. Probably some cheesy tabloid shit, but Chester Bennington has passed away. Look, I wasn't a big Linkin Park fan, to be honest, but I was a huge fan of Chester. We went to it was a 1-year tour, but it was called Project Revolution, and me and a couple of my best friends, we went to that. I didn't go there to see Linkin Park. I went there to see a lot of the other bands that were there, but they were the headliners. And I'll be honest, this was the second best concert I've ever watched in my life. And Chester Bennington, the man blew me away at that show. And I became a big fan of his. The guy, I listen to hardcore underground music. This dude could have been a huge thing in the hardcore underground music. His voice, just the way he could hold the pitch, the scream, all that, man, the dude was so talented. It's just a very tragic thing to happen. I'm a big Stone Temple Pilots fan as well. I love the grunge. When he became the guy that replaced Scott, I was very happy because I loved the guy's voice, and I thought, man, this is a very talented musician who deserves it. So very tragic, suicide, death. It's really not something to joke around or play around with because it's real and it hurts. And this guy obviously had some serious issues that dragged him down. And, rest in peace. Hurls, anything you want to add on there?
It is sad news, especially knowing that I am not like a fan of Linkin Park, but reading through the comments that people left on his news once the news broke out, right? He helped with his lyric a lot of people walk through dark places on his life, and that is something commendable, something to be admired. Go ahead.
Hurls, you with us, buddy?
Yeah, Linkin Park was a big influence on me. I was already into rock music. I was listening to most of the new metal bands around that time, Korn, Limp Bizkit, Slipknot, whatever. But then Linkin Park came and Hybrid Theory came out, and they just blew me away. That album, still to this day, it's a 10 out of 10 album. I think everybody and their mother had that album. But even the ones past that, Meteora, Minutes to Midnight, The Hunting Party, those were really good albums. And even the side band that he had, Dead by Sunrise, which TNA actually used for a pay-per-view, used that song for a pay-per-view. So just a really sad time, especially since, rock music definitely needs as many of the legends as they can possibly have, because some of the newer bands just ain't living up to the bands even from 5 years ago. So rest in peace, Chester. He brought us tons of great music.
It is. I said I'm not a big Linkin Park guy. I still have their very first 3 CDs, till Minutes to Midnight. They definitely had a lot of good songs. For me, I don't really do the mainstream rock that much, but they were some that I listened to. I don't like the Asian rapping thing. That's what bothered me with Linkin Park. Chester was amazing, and definitely some great songs on there. And Hybrid Theory came out, and that was huge. So guys, we're gonna move on. So we got the show out pretty late last week. Truth be told, we got about half the viewers that we normally do, because honestly, by the time this show got released, Impact was just a few hours away. The show kind of became irrelevant, so our apologies to everyone that missed. So there's one thing I'm going to actually redo, and I do want to say, I don't have YouTube pulled up. So I believe it was Scott Wright, may have been the name. I'm not entirely sure. I apologize, but I want to thank this guy for doing the tweet that we asked everyone. Everyone else, what the fuck? Look, Fight Network, Anthem. I think Anthem owns Fight Network, right? So Fight Network plays live audio wrestling, the Law Radio, right? So they pay money to these people. They also own, or they're also owning and showing GFW Impact Wrestling. I want you guys to check out, anyone that has not seen this, go to YouTube, type in the law in defense of Impact Wrestling. Defense spelled D-E-F-E-N-C-E because these fucking journalists can't spell simple English the word defense. Yeah. So it sounds like they're standing up for the company. They are not. Basically, they're shitting on it, saying they don't have any good talkers. The GFW, TNA at the time sucks. There's a caller that calls in and tries to talk about how Eli Drake is good. Literally, this guy, the people on the show, scream over this guy like a fucking child, throwing a temper tantrum. Don't let him talk, say anything. Just completely throw a temper tantrum and just bash the company. Ed Nordholm, Fight Network, they are paying these people to shit on the company they are investing in heavily, trying to grow. Does anyone understand this? I don't. I don't get it. So this is what we're saying. Get these motherfuckers out there. They can go get picked up anywhere else. Everyone else wants to suck the WWE dick and all that, and that's cool, and hate on GFW. They should not be getting fucking paid by them. So this is what we're asking all of these listeners. One, I want you to listen to that clip and tell me you don't get disgusted. But look, anyone to listen to this show, what I want you to do, and we are begging you, tweet at Ed Nordholm, at Real Jeff Jarrett, at Fight Network, FIGHT Network, fire the law, hire the HeelCast. And that's what we're asking, or something along those lines. Get the HeelCast on that air. Get those people off. This company wants to get a new network. They want to grow. They can't have that shit happening, at least paying for it to happen. Look, we will give a fair, honest review every week, as we do. Like, you want the RAV, you want GFW, dude. You want Hurls, you want Rob, you want Kyle, you want Chef, you want, of course, FK9. We want to be there. You know, we do. And, you know, we could, fuck it, we'll bring BQ on. We'll get BQ. We can have the whole fucking HeelCast. Everyone. This needs to happen. You want a positive influence for the main fucking, like, the mainstream. These people need to hear it. Everyone does. Like, people need to have an open mind towards this company for it to grow. Stuff like this is preventing it. It's holding it down. And, like, I don't know how it happened, but one of our listeners was like, if you guys are hurting financially, we're not fucking asking. It's not about money. It's about this company. It's about GFW. Like, we do this shit for free. No one's saying pay us by any stretch of the imagination. It's like, I'm not fucking rich by any means. I'm not asking for money. I'm not trying to get paid. I'm not trying to be famous. I'm trying to fucking help put the positive stuff out there. Hurls, anything you want to say on this?
I really didn't know too much about this story until you guys brought it up. But that's pretty messed up that you have a podcast on the network that owns GFW Wrestling that craps about it and talks mad smack about it. That's just not a smart move by that podcast. And not only are they wrong, but they're just incredibly stupid. So, yeah, hire the HeelCast. We'll give a fair and balanced review of Impact every week. We're not going to be biased towards just WWE. So, the Law podcast, whatever they call themselves, time to hit the door.
Yeah, they're doing. That's pretty messed up because they kind of pretended like everything was bad on Impact. It is the same stuff that you're hearing with the mass exodus of talent, kind of the same rehash story they did back when the Hardys left, the same rehash story they did after Bound for Glory, the massive exodus of talent. That is kind of messed up, especially knowing that they are shooting in the same boat that they are standing in. How can you do that and be okay with that? That is mess up. Fire the law and hire the HeelCast.
No doubt. Like we said, man, we fuck around. We don't take ourselves too serious. You know, I kind of call ourselves like that. I look at us as that girlfriend that, like, is so tempting, but you know she'll give you chlamydia. I mean, it's kind of like everyone wants to come on and do the HeelCast, but, like, it's like, oh, I don't want to be that. Like, we'll push the envelope. That's for sure. But, look, man, we fucking, like, we don't, we'll cut out the dick jokes. We'll lose half our audience, but, you know, sometimes you got to sell out. But, look, man, for real, like, we're not going to kiss their ass. We're not going to be super biased. You know, we're not going to say everything you do is good. We will give our honest opinion. Most of us that do the show actually enjoy the product a lot, but if something sucks, we will say it, you know, and some of us may fucking disagree with it. I mean, like, I came out and said the KM skits were the dumbest fucking thing I've ever seen, and, you know, Hurls disagreed with me. I can't remember if the other two did, but look, by the end of the show, I had the three other people literally saying, good God, what did he say? Are you calling me a liar? All simultaneously, and it wasn't rehearsed. Like, it was fun. That's the shit that we will do. You know, if you listen to FK9, man, he doesn't, like, say everything is good by any stretch of the imagination. I mean, you get the variety with us. We just want those fuck sticks off the air. And like I said, man, we talk about, like, the WWE fanboys, and we say how they act like little kids. It's like the double standard and all the shitting on GFW. Anything they do, they bash it. Like, this is a prime fucking example. You have a WWE fanboy who has a radio show and gets paid fucking money. And, you know, when someone tries to say GFW is good, literally in person, you hear the fucking temper tantrum being thrown, screaming over someone. And like I said on the air last week, and I will bring this up again, I challenge any one of those fucking pussies from the law. I will not come on your show because I will not be fucking muted and screamed at. I will challenge any of you to fucking debate, talk about this, about why GFW sucks or why WWE is. But I haven't watched that shit show in fucking 5 years, and I will still beat that ass. You want to come on 2, 3 people of you? I will bring the boys. We'll go 3-on-3 debate, whatever the fuck you want to do. I challenge you bitches. You will get shut the fuck down. This is what we do. Moving on. Just had to get that out there, guys. So we're going to go to the real news. We will start. I think it was kind of a given that Brandy Rhodes was no longer with GFW, but she's been removed. So is Madison Rayne, Magnus, and Matt Morgan. I mean, I guess Madison's a little bit of a shocker to me. The other two, unfortunately, I saw were coming. I guess I'll close it out, but we'll go to Hurls to start. Hurls, your thoughts on these? I know you got your boy Matt Morgan. I mean, disappointed?
Yeah, I am. I'm disappointed because, you know, they brought these two in only on a handshake deal, and it just really sucks because we don't get to see any continuation of their storylines. I mean, Magnus dropped the GFW title. I guess that was the most important thing to do. So it kind of seemed like that's all he came in to do. But as far as Matt Morgan, like, I know he was excited to come back, but this whole thing about GFW taking 10% of their house show money, them not making any money off merchandise sales that GFW sells with their likeness on it, I guess it's a deal breaker. So, you know, a lot of these wrestlers, they earn a lot of their living off of that. I don't think the 10% is bad, but I do think them not getting any cut of their own merchandise, I think that may be, you know, one of the deal breakers for Matt Morgan, Madison Rayne, and Brandy Rhodes. I'm okay with Brandy Rhodes leaving. She wasn't that great in the ring, and I don't think she really brought that much to the Knockouts division. Madison Rayne is a veteran. She's won the title, I think, 5 times. She's a heck of a talent. Maybe she didn't win it that much. I know she won it a lot, but she's a heck of a talent. She will be missed. I like Madison Rayne. They weren't really using her too much lately. But Matt Morgan, I feel like there was a lot of unfinished business there. And hopefully in the future they can somehow come to an agreement, because I think Matt Morgan is a heck of a talent, and I would have loved to see him get a title run with the proper booking. So it's disappointing. I understand it, why they didn't want to sign a contract, but at the same time, I just wish GFW didn't bring them back for them, or at least in Matt Morgan's case, for him to just not sign. I just think that wasn't a very smart move.
So I knew the whole Brandy Rhodes signing with Impact News was not going to happen. Obviously, they did that just to get Cody Rhodes. That is understandable. Madison Rayne, she basically is being replaced by Gail Kim in her position. That is probably what happened. And that is okay because obviously Gail Kim is retiring from the ring and she's now on a backstage role. As for Magnus, it is bad to see him go, but I think he just came in just to drop the belt, nothing else. And Matt Morgan, I think he's in good terms with the company because I saw him during the whole charity stuff Impact was doing. So I guess he still have a big, contact with the company. As for the 10%, DQ was talking about that on his offshoot that he's doing, like a little vlogs. Apparently, he talked to someone like within the company, and the whole 10% is basically as change between travel. So GFW is gonna pay for travel if it is a certain miles, and you're gonna get 10% of their booking. So I see that as a good business decision, obviously, because you can write up the traveling expenses at the end of the year by the IRS and that all that good stuff. And as for the merchandise, he was talking about they are getting paid like a lump sum. I don't also see it as that bad because all the wrestlers have pro wrestling tees, including Jeff Jarrett. So the main amount of money and the best merchandise basically most of the time is on WrestlingTees.com. So I don't see the whole thing as that bad. I just see them as just avoiding making a lot of transitions. Therefore, it is less likely for paychecks to be late, and I think that's good. I'd rather have people getting paid early than late. Go ahead, Raven.
Yeah, like the merchandising thing, man. If the story came out, I mean, I got some mixed feelings on it. I'm not gonna touch it right now. They're Ed Nordholm's kind of fucking gangster, man. Like for real, like this dude, he's kind of gangster with it, and like there was talk, like Jeff Jarrett may cut him out as a money maker. I don't think anyone. I think Ed Nordholm cut everyone out at some point. Like Ed's fucking gangster with it. But just talking about the thing, man. Like Brandy, yeah, she was brought in to bring Cody in. Pearl said she wasn't very good in the ring. That's probably an understatement. Okay, it is an understatement. She's a gorgeous girl. Nothing against her, but I didn't expect that. The Madison one, maybe quite the shocker. I mean, she was doing a creative thing. She hasn't been in the ring in a while. I enjoyed Madison a lot, almost her entire career, despite what some people may say. FK9. Look, man, the two that bother me, is Matt Morgan and Magnus. For one, I mean, I don't see the point that they brought Matt Morgan in for. I really don't. I'm a Matt Morgan fan. I think the dude, like, if you look at that guy, man, I mean, the dude's he looks like a star. I'm kind of surprised he never elevated himself. I always talk about the 2013 Slammiversary, when he stole Hogan's robe, and he came on to be that guy to challenge Bully Ray for that belt, and he got put in that god-awful looking Scorpion by a very old Sting. It just looked terrible. Man, Matt Morgan was so hot at that time, and I really think they should have capitalized on that, and they just dropped the ball. And I think they put him with Joey Ryan shortly after, just randomly. I think Morgan could have been a star there. They put him in those main events with Anderson back in the days. They kind of fucking flopped. They sucked. I'm disappointed, man. I want to see Morgan come back. I think there was still a run on him. Magnus, like that one sucks too. The guy's still young. He's great. He's a former champ. I get why they want it, especially now. Knowing what we know now. They definitely brought him in to at least drop the belt. At least he was a good spirit and did that. I don't know what the point in kind of keeping him around was. Like having that angle with Storm and EC3 where he almost got the fucking shot to go to Slammiversary and shit. Why put him in that? And I mean, like, write these guys off of TV, like for real. have them put someone over big. If you're just gonna fucking waste that, like that's stuff that kind of irritates me. I expected more with wrestling people, but I'm disappointed to see them go. I'd like to see at least Morgan and Magnus come back at some time. I would really like to see that, but I guess we'll move on. So someone I really want to see in GFW, who I've been saying this for a while now, Johnny Mundo, a.k.a. John Morrison, at one point Johnny Nitro, at one point whatever the fuck his name was on Tough Enough, probably his real name. Him and Taya, I don't know much about her, but she's been all about the GFW the past few weeks. And then apparently, I don't know if it's work or not, but she apparently quit East Underground AAA or whatnot, over Sexy Star or whatnot. So they are at the shows that Kyle is going to. They're going to be at the GFW house shows working. Doesn't mean they're coming onto the program. I hope it does mean that it's going to happen at some point, especially Johnny Mundo. But big things, man. We'll go to Rob. Your thoughts on these guys doing the house show at GFW here next week or two?
Yeah, I think it is good. He has improved a lot. I think he legit quit AAA. He ended up giving all the belts to him. That was a dumb decision by AAA. They put him like the cruiserweight title, the mid-card title, and the heavyweight title, and then they decided to do like a mess of stuff with his girlfriend. That's a dumb decision right there. But he's the winner of Impact. I hope this doesn't kind of ruffle the feathers between GFW and Impact. But it is what it is. I am happy, and she is a very talented female performer. So that is a win both ways. Probably that is an improvement over Cody and Brandy, and also an improvement over Mike Bennett and Maria. So I'm all for that. Go ahead, Raven.
Yeah, I'm very excited for John Morrison to at least work the house shows. It definitely looks like he's going to sign with GFW once his Lucha Underground / Triple. Well, I think he's done with AAA, but I do know that Lucha Underground, they have to wait until this current season is over with, and then after that they have a 90-day no-compete clause. So it definitely looks like John Morrison, by the beginning of 2018, he should be with GFW. It's a very good get. The guy can work. He can do X Division stuff. He can do heavyweight stuff. He can do tag team, all over the map. He's just a multi-facet wrestler, and he will definitely fit in well with the GFW roster. So I think it'll be good. Taya, I saw some of her stuff on Lucha Underground. She can work too. She'll be a really good get for the Knockouts division. I'm very excited for this move.
Yeah, I am too, man. Taya, I don't know much about her. I know she's not Melina. That's who I knew Morrison to be with last. She's probably better news than Melina is, at least as far as, the toxic relationships we can talk about here pretty soon, of course. But I don't know much about her. Like I've said a couple times, I couldn't get into Lucha. I tried. I do not knock the wrestling at all. I enjoyed the wrestling a lot. But Morrison, I know. Or Mundo. I'll call him Mundo now because he's out of that shitty company. But man, you do a Jim Morrison gimmick, you're gonna kind of win me over a little bit. But I've always been a fan of this guy. He's been kind of like the one guy from Lucha Underground that I really wanted to see come over. And I know a lot of people will say, and I've heard it multiple times, there's a lot better performers in Lucha Underground than Morrison, and I'm sure there is, maybe there is. But this dude's amazing for one. He's a fucking incredible wrestler and athlete. But me, plenty of other people out there, we don't know that much about Lucha, and that's the thing. We don't know too many of these people. People know John Morrison, and he's not gonna put a bunch of asses in seats. But this is what I try and say, man. When I first knew about TNA, and I would kind of order those weekly shows and stuff and try and get into it. The thing that, there was DDP. there was Jeff Jarrett, there was Raven, there was Sandman, there was Sabu. There were guys that I was a fan of that I enjoyed watching, that I was happy to continue seeing. And that's how I learned, that's how I got into AJ. That's how I knew about, AMW. That's how I saw Christopher Daniels. That's how I saw Chris Sabin, P.D. Williams, all that. That's what needs to be done. You see, there's John Morrison's back. There's Alberto Del Rio. There's Evan Bourne. There's people that, like, if you try and watch, okay, like, I enjoyed them a lot. It'll keep them on there, and let's see how it goes. I think, like, I always say this, the Miz and the Morrison were that tag team, or Miz and Morrison were that tag team, and for some reason, they chose them, like, they saw more in the Miz than Morrison. I've never understood that. I think it's just ridiculous. And like, apparently the reason was Vince McMahon didn't think John Morrison could kick anyone's ass. Really, like, but the Miz could. Like, I would beat the shit out of the Miz. Morrison, I see this fucking good-looking dude who's chiseled as fuck and doing, like, all these crazy acrobatic things, and, like, all that agility. Dude, that man will beat my ass. He's a good wrestler. He really is. He can do the X Division like Hurls says. I think that's maybe where they start him. I don't. Like, he got some title shots in WWE, and I think, like, there's people that have been world champ in WWE that he was much better than, including The Miz. But, like, I don't want to see him go to the main event, like, right away. But, I mean, I could see it happening at some point, and I wouldn't be opposed to it. I mean, if you look at how Matt Seidel's getting pushed right now, it's like, I would buy into Morrison or Mundo, whatever we're going to call him at some point in there. I would buy into him a lot more than I would Matt Seidel right now as far as, like, top of the card. And I hope to God, like, they do bring this guy in. I mean, I wish I could go to these house shows, see what he's doing, but, I mean, you think about the possibilities with the X Division, some of the guys in there, it's going to be off the hook, and he's a guy that can definitely go up the card as well. I don't know if anyone has anything else they want to chime in before we get to the next story.
That's it. Go ahead.
I'm good.
Okay, so I don't know much about these guys at all. I've heard a lot of good things on Impact Asylum. I've heard these guys plug for a while now. I think MSTKI was probably the culprit that kind of started this, but I think it's Jake and Dave Chris. I could be wrong on the names, but OI4K tag team being signed with Impact or GFW. So this company needs tag teams a lot. I've heard a lot of great things about these. I believe they're Irish tag team, but look, we need tag teams really bad. So they're Boris has apparently confirmed that they're filming vignettes to make their debut. I'm excited. I got nothing else to say. Just happy to see a tag team and see what the hype is. Robert, anything?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm not that familiar, but from the clips that I saw, they look good. And obviously, we need more tag teams on Impact Wrestling.
Yeah, Ohio is for killers is what that spells out, in case anyone was curious, as they don't watch the Indies.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, they would.
All right. Sorry, Hurls. Go, buddy.
Nope, that's fine. I actually watched a best of video just to kind of get familiar with them, and some of the moves they do are really cool. I'm hoping that they bring some of that to Impact, because they look very solid in the ring and they're very creative. A lot of the moves I've never seen before, some of the stuff they tried. So I'm very excited for them. I hope we get Reno Scum back. I hope we see some more VOW, and I hope we can get this tag team division out of the little slump that they're in right now, just because of the whole injuries to a lot of the different teams. So I'm definitely looking forward to these guys coming in.
Yeah, no doubt, man. Look, I want to see tag team wrestling pick up, just like you. I mean, that was one of the staples that really made this company when it started, in my opinion. And I'm glad, Hurls, I'm glad you say you want to see more VOW, man, because apparently you and me are the only two fucking people on the planet that is actually kind of enjoying these guys. So, yeah, definitely. Look, we're excited about this thing. I'm not going to vouch for you two. You can vouch on your own. One signing I'm not fucking excited about, so Conan has confirmed that a guy named El Torito is signed with GFW. So I really didn't know much, but apparently he feuded with Hornswoggle, a.k.a. Swoggle, in the WWE. So, yeah, it's a midget. I said it last week. I'll say it again. what the fuck are? What's the fucking point? What does this attract? It's been done so many times. It never brings in a market. It never brings in an audience. It never brings in viewers. There's nothing about this that is going to draw or make your company look legitimate. Or there's nothing. There's no point in this. And not knocking anyone for being a midget. I'm sorry that happened to you, man. Like, that sucks. It's gotta suck, and I'm sorry. But you know what? I hope I just don't fucking job Rockstar split out to this guy next. But you know, Robert, I'll let you start, man.
Yeah, I think this is kind of, how can I put it? Not a good idea, especially for the mainstream audience. That is one thing that I am kind of scared, because at this moment in time in pro wrestling, obviously they are looking to expand their Hispanic base, and you can see by the people they are booking. However, the audience are not interchangeable, and a lot of things don't end up translating. Let me give you an example from the past, so the throwback, right? You guys remember 2008? There was a feud between Booker T and a referee who was a blonde, short referee, Shane Shewells, right? That guy was he was the top babyface from here, Puerto Rico. Guess what? He didn't translate to the mainstream audience, and the feud went flat. That is my fear when it comes down to this kind of more regional stuff. The meetings get over big time on Mexico, but that doesn't translate. It is what it is, but I'm not a big fan of it, to be honest.
I'm okay with this only if they actually start a mini division. They've been bringing in some new mini wrestlers like Demas. I think it was Octagon Cito. They brought him in. I'm okay if they can actually build a division with a title belt. I'd be okay with it. Because then you can actually use Swoggle and you can use El Torito in different matchups and feuds. I think that would actually be, a decent thing for Impact to do. I just don't want to see guys get, used incorrectly because they lose to a mini wrestler. I don't mind the multi-tag team matches that, we saw this past week on Impact, which we'll talk about later. But as long as if they're serious about building a mini division, I am definitely okay with them bringing El Torito, because he's definitely one of the more popular mini wrestlers there is in the globe, and he was popular even before he got to WWE. So if they are going to bring him in because of this, I'm all for it. If they're only going to bring him in just to feud with Swoggle and beat Rockstar Spud, I'm not really feeling that.
Hurls, I understand what you're saying, and you make a good point there. But I guess for me, my point is, the last fucking thing I want to see is a minis division where there's focus, where there's time, where there's belt and all that. Man, they've done this stuff, so it's been proven that it's not doing anything in wrestling for years. If it didn't work in the WWF, back in the days, how the fuck is it gonna work now? Like the midget wrestling thing. It's looked like it's comical. It is. You go to cheap fucking bars, man. They can bring in midget wrestling. I lived in this, literally this tiny shithole, the worst town in the state of Oregon. Klamath Falls, Oregon is where I'm from. I don't live there anymore. Little cheap fucking clubs, man, could bring in midget wrestling. It happened twice. My buddy was running one. They didn't have a lot of money and shit, but they could afford midget wrestling. Sorry, there's a plane crossing over me. But I'm it just, dude, it doesn't translate. People go and watch it to laugh one night. You don't want to see this shit on TV all the time. It's something that you laugh at. It's not serious. There's no one that's going to it's not going to move any needles. It's not going to increase any viewers. Pushing someone like Eli Drake, or creating your tag teams, or putting more knockouts on, or just pushing a new wrestler like the X Division. Instead, we're putting a fucking midget wrestling match on. I mean, that's my point. And you know, Hurls, like, yeah, okay, if that's what they're going to do, that's cool and that's fine. But I mean, why put the money, the time, and the investment in there to make that happen? Is what I'm saying. We can move on. I don't have anything more to say. Like, I don't know if anyone wants to chime in on that before we move on. But I mean, that's my take, and we'll go to the next story unless someone else wants to say something.
Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, guys. So the big story last week, you know, we talked a lot about here. The Alberto El Patron was suspended upon investigation into this domestic violence thing. We did mention and make light on the show last week that on the audio, it sounded like Paige hit Alberto, not the other way around. So, guys, the investigation happened, and Paige is charged with domestic violence. Alberto El Patron not charged with anything. Have to assume the suspension is dropped. Alberto's found innocent. Our champion was not beating his girlfriend at all, fiance, whatever you want to call her. Toxic relationship, man. I mean, I don't. Look, I'll just say this, and I'll let you guys go because I don't have much to say on it. But you know, there were people last week that were saying this is bullshit. That TFW is not acknowledging what Alberto did on the air or what's going on. Why the fuck would they? Why would they say the air champion suspended because he beat a woman? This is the point I was trying to tell everyone. We don't fucking know. Why go out there and commit suicide to your company when you don't know the details? So everyone that was out there on Twitter and saying, like, this is fucked up at GFW to do, like, even our own fan base, no, point proven, man. We didn't know the details. People were just trying to say Alberto was bad. Look, I think it's a terrible situation, and I still don't think he should be the champ. I think there's a lot of potential for some shit to go wrong there. Being in someone who's been in a toxic marriage for 6 years of my life, or a relationship for 6 years of my life, man, they bring out the worst in you. But just, look, our champion's clear. Suspension's over. We can move forward. And, yeah, like anyone out there that was saying, like, WWE wouldn't have done this or whatever, and, you know, shitting on GFW for having a wife beater as champ or whatever you want to call it. And so the WWE fans and the dirt sheets out there, Vince tried to pay Deborah to shut the fuck up about what Stone Cold was doing to her. And all these companies like Cage Side Seats that was bashing GFW. I don't see you doing that to WWE, so move on. Alberto, Hurls, thoughts?
I was just kind of, when I heard this story, I was just kind of in the mindset, well, we'll wait and see until the investigation is over with. I wasn't going to judge the guy from what we heard on the dirt sheets. So he's innocent, lift the suspension, and move on with the storyline. That's all I really have to say about this.
I find the whole thing hilarious. Like, people were, like, accusing him, putting all sorts of conspiracy theories and how much Impact Wrestling hated women and blah, blah, blah. And guess what? Alberto was, it is not guilty. Alberto did nothing wrong. So, and you see the difference between in the kind of announcement that they did, right? They reported the original story, and it was all over the internet. Once it was found that he did nothing wrong, Alberto Patron did nothing wrong, or at least at that moment, guess what? Cricket, silent. All the people saying, fire Alberto Patron, and blah, 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 got proven wrong. So if you are proven wrong, you should at least make sure that, hey, I got this one wrong, therefore I am on the wrong side of history. Hopefully, I'm still in favor of them taking the title of him just in case he kind of blow up. But I'm happy to hear that he was found innocent, at least on that incident that happened on the airport. And by the way, I think that the whole thing between Paige and Alberto, I think that is a two-way street. It is clear as daylight, but that is not my business. That is their business, and let that stuff be in that neighborhood. That is not my neighborhood. Go ahead, Raven.
Yeah, no doubt. Look, And I know you said you're happy Alberto got clear. I want to say that I'm happy Alberto didn't hit a woman. I mean, just overall, like, look, I'm. It's not just because he's a GFW roster guy or our world champ right now, but I mean, look, for not hitting a woman. But I mean, a woman can hit a guy, you know, like, and he didn't hit back. You know, so I mean, props to that, for real. Props to that. I've been hit by a woman multiple times. Look, one time I fucking broke up a fight between my friend and another guy before the fight happened. I took 2 right hooks from some chick, didn't even hit her back. Had no idea who the bitch was. His girlfriend. Like, thought I was in there to jump or something. I don't know. I'm just saying, like, good for Alberto doing the right thing and not doing that. And like, the one thing I just want to point out, guys, and I shouldn't do this because I should move on and it's irrelevant, but Raj Giri, the guy who runs fucking Wrestling Inc., like, I saw a thing where they were doing a press conference with Borash, and the fucking guy, like, the way he words a question is to, like, make it sound like Alberto's guilty, and he brings it up to Borash, you know, to just make it smear it. And, like, I just want to say, Raj, Wrestling Inc., fuck you. You guys are the biggest sacks of shit. Like, your site is just so anti-GFW and so fucking just up WWE's ass, and you do so much to try and bash it, and I just want to say such a dick. So, speaking of, look, knockouts. Rob, last week on the show you said that you would hope that Gail Kim would become an agent for GFW when she was done wrestling. Hey, you were right, man. I think it's fucking fantastic news. I mean, best women's wrestler ever, in my opinion. Now she's going to be an agent for the knockouts. And now it's been confirmed that 2 new knockouts have been signed to the company. I guess there's been a lot of clues in I haven't been able to follow, and I'm not going to go off of it. Look, we need new knockouts too. We really do, knockouts and tag teams. I don't know who it is. Apparently, it's never been someone with WWE before. I don't know if this Taya girl is one of them. I'm not going to say who I want because I really don't know indie wrestling or female wrestlers even more. The one person I want to see come in for a while is Veda Scott. I hope that's who it is. She's not that great of a wrestler. She's okay. I see her more of as a manager type and someone who could be big in a managerial role. But you know, that's my thoughts. I have nothing more to say. Hurls, I'll go to you.
There's a lot of options for me. So if they've never been in WWE, that'd be awesome if it would be Veda Scott. I would definitely be up for that. I'd hope Santana Garrett would come back, but I know she was just in the WWE Women's Tournament. So I don't know if that's going to happen, but yeah, we definitely need new knockouts. We need them very badly right now. So whoever it is, the way GFW has been bringing in some new talent, I think they're going to be good for the knockouts division. So I can't wait to see who it is. And yeah, that's all I really got to say.
Yeah. I mean, before Rob takes over, I actually did meant to say when I thought about this earlier, and I kind of blanked it. Santana Garrett was the other name that I kind of hoped. So I have it Santana and Veda. But whoever I'll take, Rob, it's all you, buddy.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Obviously, Conan is also saying that he's trying to push to bring in like Mexican female wrestlers to the talent. So I think that could be something that could add a little bit of more flavor, because I don't think we have seen like lucha libre style female, at least on Impact, and that could be interesting. And I'm looking forward to the new people getting in. However, they need to make sure that they have time for them and have a little bit more discipline when it comes down to time management. That is kind of a gripe that I have with the current Impact product, but I'm still hopeful, and things are getting good on GFW. Go ahead.
Yeah, and I guess apparently they're like well-known enough names. Yeah, I mean, look, time management that is kind of an issue. And I think the knockouts kind of been shafted on time more than anyone else, as far as that goes, as far as like length of matches and stuff. And again, you know, Minnie's division, when we could give that time to, let's say, Rosemary, Allie, Gail, Sienna, whoever, girls that go out there and bust their butt. And I don't know if it counts as being in the WWE or not, but as far as name, I would love to see that. Eva Lee's the Les girl. I thought she was awesome. I loved her in Lucha from what I saw. That was a mistake that they should have signed instead of Lady Tapa back in the days, but I don't know if that counts. But look, speaking of Lucha, Robbie kind of broke the news live on the site last week, or live on the show last week, but a contract was handed to Rey Mysterio, from Karen Jarrett. We don't know if it's signed or not. Word is Conan, his BFF, Conan was in on the negotiation. I understand he's got to finish up with Lucha. I don't know how long season 3 goes for, and then there's that 90-day compete clause. I've been saying for weeks since we did the Slammiversary show, I've been predicting Mysterio. I hope that this happens. All I'm going to say, man, because I've talked it so much, Rey, to me, I was always a fan of the guy, and I stopped. When the guy won the title, man, it was the only IWC shit I ever did was, as soon as my guy won the belt, I kind of turned against him. It was because, he was just so for kids, and that, it just, in the WWE way, it's just so kiddie. I got fucking burnt out on the guy. Fantastic wrestler. I mean, one of the best cruiserweight wrestlers ever. They made him a world champion twice. I want to see fucking Filthy Animals Gangster Ray. I want to see him come back heel. I want to see him being with LAX, Conan. That's what I want to see. I want to see a different personality. I just want to see him just wipe that shit away. The guy's a fantastic wrestler. He's small. He's been wrestling since he was 15 or some unreal shit. Obviously don't expect the Rey of WCW if you didn't watch WWE or WWF like GFW did. GFW dude never watched him in the other company. You're not going to see that. I mean, if you had injuries and stuff, the only thing that I don't want to see, more than him do the kitty thing, is I don't want to see him feud with Alberto, because I saw that shit in WWE so fucking much. Please don't go down that route, and don't let it headline Bound for Glory or pay-per-view by any means. But I don't want to see the guy win the world title, man. I just don't. He could add some cred to the belt, but I just don't. I don't want to see it. He was never the champ to me. He was too small, and now you take age, injuries, and all that. It's not what I want to see, but I really want to see the guy in the company. Rob, I'll go to you.
I am happy to hear that news, obviously. By the way, Conan was talking on his Spanish podcast, and he's one of the managers when it comes down to negotiations. So he kind of hinted that it is more likely for him to be part of GFW than be part of World Wrestling Entertainment due to what they were offering Rey. So take that for just a hint. So I obviously don't want to see him the world champion, but I think he could be in the main event, especially during the main event scene that we have right now. He would fit perfectly, and Alberto Patron name dropping him during the show kind of hinted at that. Go ahead, heard it.
I'd be totally for Rey signing. He's a big name. He'd bring a big fan base. I loved his stuff in WCW. His stuff in WWE was, I guess, good in the fact that he finally got a main event push, because he never really got that in WCW. But I liked his character more in WCW. So if he comes to GFW, obviously he's going to be a big name. He's going to be a main eventer. He might tinker around in the X division a little bit, but I think he would come in to do some big feuds, and he'd have some great matches with some of the X division stars. So I'm all for Rey Mysterio coming in. The only thing I will say is I do know that WWE is also interested in him, so there may become a bidding war for him. So it'll be interesting to see which one he picks, but I actually do feel confident that GFW can get him, just with the fact that El Patron is there and Conan as well.
Yeah, of course. The WWE, of course, wants him. Yeah. I don't even do. to say the reasons because there's multiple reasons why. None of them too positive. But that's why they want to do it. Look, here the Conan factor I think is going to be a big deal with Rey. I think there is a small chance maybe we will come through. The Conan factor I think is the big key, and there's rumors with Conan the crash that he's getting irritated or whatnot, and there might be some sort of blood or beef going on. Keep Conan happy. I mean, seriously, LAX is fucking over as fuck. Garza and Laredo Kid, I love seeing. The dude, he's got connections. He can do a lot of positive. And, man, if he can bring in Mysterio, I think he can probably gain some more viewers that way, to be honest. So don't fuck up the Conan relationship. As hard as that guy may be to work with at times from rumors, don't fuck it up. So we're almost done with the news. If you're like me, I think Hurls, we like our collection. So Shop Impact, I think it's still called Shop Impact. I don't know, really. But finally, man, we got some new DVDs. It's not Bound for Glory from last year, which I'd like to see. But I'm happy as fuck to see One Night Only Live from last year, 2016, is now out on DVD. You can purchase it there. And then there was Joker's Wild and Rivals from last year that came out. I can't remember if it was Joker's Wild last year that was like an abomination. It was terrible, but I'm normally a real big fan of Joker's Wild. The Rivals card from last year, I actually watched this. I didn't pay for it. I watched it on my Fire Stick, and I actually really liked the Rivals show. Bram and Mr. Anderson actually main evented. But it was a good show. I enjoyed that. I'm definitely going to be purchasing the One Night Only Live. Hurls, thoughts on actually getting some new DVDs?
I don't collect them all, but there's quite a few that I do buy. Obviously, I buy the Bound for Glory and Slammiversary and the One Night Only Lives. I always get the Joker's Wild, too, because those are always generally fun shows, except for the one that you were talking about. I believe that was the one that didn't actually air. It only aired over in the UK. But nonetheless, yeah, I'm excited that they've added these new One Night Onlys. I also want to say, too, that the Total, I think it's still, I don't know if it's still called Total TNA Access, but I actually was looking on my Xbox One, and you can actually buy it on Xbox One, even if you're not from the UK or Ireland. So I'm thinking about possibly getting that. I don't know if GFW knows that this happened, but it says I'm able to buy it on my Xbox One. So just kind of wanted to throw that out there, but I'm very happy for the DVD. So
did that Joker's Wild, did Galloway win that one? Was that who won last year? Was it Bennett? Do you remember?
I think it was, I think it was between Galloway and Bennett, but there was one before that they never aired. I don't know why, but they did another one that they never aired. It was only in the UK. I think it was Joker's Wild 3. Joker's Wild 3, I think they never aired.
Anyways, I actually didn't know that. And I'm looking here before we go to Rob. I don't know if these two are new, like the DVDs, but I have to assume the Super X-Cut T-shirt is new. And I don't know if this is the original LAX 5150. That's brand new that just came back out. I know Rob was actually talking about that earlier, but those are now available on shoptna.com is what it still says here. But Rob, I'll go to you on this one, and then we'll move on to the last story.
So yeah, things are getting more updated, at least on the Shop Impact side of things, and that is a good sign. That means they care about their website and they care about making money. Therefore, that is a good running operation, and that is always good news to have around.
Yeah, no doubt. And now, look, this was supposed to be the end of our news. However, Rob, I'm actually going to go back to you to give the info out on this one. You said that you had heard something about Diamante needing surgery and something else. So if you want to go ahead and throw that one out there, we will go on that, and then we'll move on to Impact.
So let's talk about Conan podcast. He has like a podcast on English, and he has a Spanish version. And he was talking about Diamante and he stated that she needed like big time surgery, and it looks a lot worse than he thought at the beginning. Therefore, he's looking to replace her. And in his words, he said that he is gonna bring someone who is known by the mainstream wrestling audience. Probably someone from Lucha Underground. I think I might have an idea, but I don't wanna make people, let's say, be excited and not deliver it. But it is what it is. And he's also pushing to bring in 2 more talent from the Crash promotion. He's talking about bringing in a heavyweight and bringing a female talent. So that is what he's pitching to GFW. That doesn't mean that is obviously it's gonna happen because he doesn't run the company, but he's trying to bring in more people from his crew and use some of the GFW talent back in Mexico, who, by the way, he's drawing pretty good size of people, and especially knowing that his company is just starting out. They're bringing a lot of people into their shows, and that is a good association that Impact did with the Crash and Conan.
Girls,
Yeah. Well, I don't think the person that you're thinking of has the initials of SS, because I know Taya does not get along with that particular person, at least from the whole blow-up that happened in AAA. I also wanted to add that Abyss is possibly going to be getting a new look soon, so look out for that as well.
Huh. It's not the suit and Jessup Park look, I take it, huh?
Yeah, he posted on Twitter that he's in the midst of creating a new look, and he posted a picture of a white mask.
All right. I wasn't sure if we kind of seen the end of Abyss, except for some really rare occasions, but good to know. I'll be honest, I kind of went off for a little second, and I got the SS thing. I actually, it went over my head, so I don't even know what you're talking about there. But, look, I will say, Diamante, man, I've been waiting to see this girl in the ring. Very disappointing to hear. I think she would really be shaking things up right now. I've loved everything I've seen out of her. She is fucking over, like, already. And as far as this Crash stuff goes, about him trying to bring in a female performer and a heavyweight, I mean, look, let's just keep it real. Like, I kind of think they should. Like they should give Crash more than just Garza and the Laredo Kid. I mean, look, Conan to be cool enough to let the AAA thing go down without raising hell, causing problems with it. I mean, they're bringing a lot more guys in there, and from what I understand, AAA's got a lot more talent than Crash does. But like, I mean, hell, I think they kind of owe it to the guy. I mean, our roster's kind of full right now, to be honest. But I mean, look, we need to knock out some tag teams for real. We do, and that's hopefully they do it. But look, HeelCast Nation, I want to say thank you very much this week. Hopefully I will be back next week. Rob, thank you for all that you're doing. Hurls, good to have you back. Enjoy the rest of the show, guys. Watch Impact this week. Daniel Cormier going to beat John Jones. Yeah, I'm out. RIB out. Look.